And we are live. What's up, Drip? This is the pre-show of the Drip and G podcast. And tonight, Drip, we got stuff.
We got stuff. We got things. We got stuff.
We got things and stuff. Things and stuff to talk about. We got plenty of Switch 2 leaks, rumors, suggestions, and something that's actually real and tangible, which I'm excited to talk about. The patent Nintendo filed. Apparently, it's not their first one. You reminded me earlier that this is their second one or more, but of AI upscaling.
Yeah. Yeah, they've already put one out, but this isn't interesting.
Yeah, I think this one's very detailed. I'm not sure if I'll show the patent, but you can Google it.
You can.
It's in our. It's actually not in the thumbnail. I chose not to go with that one thumbnail yet, but maybe we will.
What happened to the music?
It just went away. It's fine though. How we doing, Drip? How we doing? Are you doing well? You doing? I woke up from a late nap about 31 minutes ago. Why is this not working?
So confused.
Are you confused, Drip? What's up, Power Man? How you doing, man? What's up, Ty? How you doing?
Just trying to figure out why my music stops playing.
There it goes.
There. Ah! When is your trip to New York for the Switch 2? It is not this coming weekend. It is not the next weekend, but it is the next weekend after that.
The next weekend after that. Mega Boyd, what's up?
I got so much stuff going on the next couple weekends. This weekend, my band is playing Pittsburgh Friday and then Greensburg Saturday. We're doing a little weekend,
Yeah, nice,
little weekend thing. And then next weekend, Rachel and I are going to see Heart in Charleston with my mom and my stepdad. Because that's going to be awesome.
Cool.
Yeah, going to see Heart, man.
Oh, hell
and then the weekend after that.
Barracuda.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome, dude.
Yeah. Mega Boy went to an NBA game.
That,
wow, congratulations, man.
Nice.
Have a good time at ping pong, dude.
First time since 2019. And then, the weekend after that, I leave Friday. Oh, God, sorry.
Don't be doing this.
Friday.
Do not do this to me this early, okay?
I'm sorry. Friday. So that Friday I'll leave. I'm going to drive most of the way. Friday I'll leave to New York, staying in a small town called New Hope for the evening. There's a Harry Potter.
I'll look this up.
There's a Harry Potter shop there and a bunch of other stuff. We're going to hang out there for the night and then just wake up in the morning and go all the way in.
I'm pretty
hang out in the city for a little bit. Go, check out the Switch 2, whatever. And then just, hang out a little bit more and then head back.
I'm looking at a map right now. Trenton. Is it Jersey? Yeah. I lost it.
New Hope.
I lost it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're pretty close to my parents' house. Nice. Oh yeah, it's in
Maybe
Bucks.
I'll stop by.
Oh no, it's Bucks County Playout. Is it in Bucksco? New Hope?
I have no idea.
I don't know, man. I was just talking to somebody about this earlier. I know Illinois better in terms of like the map than I do Pennsylvania because I moved to Illinois when I was 22. As an adult, and
driving,
I spent my entire basically adulthood here. You don't study a map when you're a kid. You know what I mean? Like I don't look at maps. I didn't look at maps when I was a kid. But
yeah,
I do.
Yeah.
As an adult, you have to look at maps.
I mean, I don't look at a lot of maps. I'm just like. Well, GPS.
You know your area. Well, that's what I'm talking about. Dude, I'm not looking at maps. What are you talking about? I'm talking about
I thought you're just out here studying paper maps. Like you're charting courses on a giant table. I look at Google
Maps where there's nowhere. Like when you move to a new state, Drip, I don't know if you've done that before, but when you move to a new state, you need to know where you're going, and you can't just putting an address in a GPS and pressing start and not even looking remotely where you're going. It's like driving with your hands over your eyes. You have to know.
That's what I do.
Yeah, apparently, you gotta like look at a little bit where you're going to make sure you're not. Actually, one time, Drip, I did that. One time, I blindly put an address in a GPS and I pressed go. Me and I were going to a wedding somewhere in Illinois. I went south when you were supposed to go north, and we missed the wedding. Because we went way out of the way.
Well, all you got to do is check the next thing. Just look on the GPS. Okay, the next thing we're looking for is this thing. Just keep an eye out for it.
But like I said, Drip, if you just trust the GPS like you're suggesting, that's what happens.
I'm also basically, I am also basically like, I don't know. What has good direction? What type of animal? An eagle? I don't know.
Do you have good direction? Is that the case?
Yeah.
New Hope, Pennsylvania, Full Metal.
Oh, yeah, that's where I'll be. I'll be in New Hope, PA. A pigeon, that's right, Full Metal. I'm like a pigeon.
Yeah, pigeons,
man.
Get anywhere. You put a piece of paper in their leg, they're going to get that piece of paper where you need them to go.
They can read it. They're like, okay, wait, you got an address on here? No, it's fine. I know this name. I'll check the database.
Yeah,
let's go.
Full Metal suggesting you should go to dinner with my parents.
I think so, too.
Why not?
I need to meet them. I need to meet the parents eventually here for the wedding. It's going to be so awkward if we do it at the wedding, you know?
Right, yeah, like, who's this guy?
Yeah.
Well, they know your face well enough, I would imagine, at this point.
I would hope.
He's going there for. You can talk. I won't talk for you.
I can't see it. I gotta move the chat.
When are you going there? When are you going to New Hope?
Not this weekend and not the next weekend, but the next weekend. I'm only gonna be there for one night, and it will be Friday night because it's the night before I go see the Switch.
Stop doing that. Stop it right now.
I'm not doing anything.
Stop it. I hate when you do that because then you get me doing it and it's over.
Going to Milwaukee Friday.
That's in my neck of the woods. We can go to dinner, Joey. You want to go to dinner?
Might drive blindfold to do it. No, don't do that. I'm just kidding.
Nah, it's a bad idea.
It's a terrible idea.
Yeah. I got nothing, Drip. I was telling you, I'm fresh off a nap. So, yeah.
What is going on?
Don't recommend doing that so close to when you're supposed to put on a show for people to watch. But here we are.
Going to a March Madness game. Nice. That's gonna be cool.
Is that Joey Pitts? Stop doing that. No more.
Dude, I have
Slap
to.
yourself.
I'm sorry.
Slap yourself. Turn that cold air back on.
It's not that type of thing, man. It's just I yawn. I just yawn all the time.
No, you don't. Not right now.
I do.
Not during the hours of 8 p.m. Eastern to 10 p.m. Eastern. You do not yawn.
I'm gonna go
on Wednesday specifically.
I'm not yawning right now.
I can hear you. Stop it. It's worse if I can hear it. It's like here. I didn't have to yawn, and now the yawns are like here. They're like right here. They're like, come on, man. You know you want to. Come on. It's like tickling my foot, telling me not to laugh. I'm gonna stop. All right. Well, hey, Drake, one of these days you gotta get your sounds back on your freaking soundboard. I missed.
Yeah, I'm gonna eventually. I'm gonna do that.
It's gonna be the Switch 3. Bush, I got Yingling now. Look at this. I got Yingling.
That is awesome. We can do that real quick. Beer of the week.
Yeah, beer of the week.
Arnold Palmer spiked half and half.
Very nice. Very nice.
Hello, friends.
What's up, Jeff? How you doing, man?
Jeff.
If you guys wouldn't mind liking the stream, I'd appreciate that. Drip and I would both appreciate that. Helps us out.
I would appreciate that.
Yeah, Yingling is typically it's brewed in my in Pottsville. It's like 2 hours from where I grew up, maybe 3.
Pottsville, PA.
That's
the oldest brewery in America.
You know it. It is literally the oldest brewery in America. I toured it. It was fun. They make good beer. It's called Yingling.
It is good.
I don't have autofocus.
Have you ever had the Yingling Black and Tan?
I don't like anything but this lager that they put out.
Black
I'm
and
like,
Tan's good.
it's not that like they're bad beers. It's just I don't like them. You know.
I like the Black and Tan. It's good.
Autofocus. Let's get autofocus on for a moment so I can show you the label. Yingling.
It's a good label.
It is.
Hey, I just heard that Yoshi egg.
is beautiful by this label. I actually I took off the labels of a few of the beers, and I turned them into stickers in my own way. Like I laminated them like by hand with Scotch tape or with packing tape, and I like turned them into stickers and I put them places, and I love them.
I feel like I could find you a sticker that's just like that, but nice.
I did that like years ago. I was probably like 19. Well, it wasn't 19. I was drinking beer, so I was probably like 21.
Lies.
Actually, maybe not. Maybe I wasn't even 21 yet, but I wasn't drinking them. I was just taking the. I just like the label. They got a beautiful fucking label. Like it's the perfect, man. It's a perfect. Yingling's great. Jeff loves Yingling. Yeah, Yingling is great. It really is. They don't sell them in Illinois until recently, apparently. At least not where I've seen it in Illinois.
I think we've told the story several times, but I remember back when I was younger, like when they started distributing, the fight was over who was going to distribute it here. Was it going to be Anheuser-Busch or what's the other one? The Miller people.
Miller.
Yeah.
Miller. I don't know.
I don't know. What's the name of that company?
No idea.
I don't know. What was between those two? They were fighting over who was going to be able to distribute it here. But finally, somebody won the fight. I don't even know who it was. I think it was Anheuser-Busch. But yeah, I remember. Oh man, that's all anybody drank around here for so long.
Yingling or
stuff is good. Yeah, Yingling.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. It was a good time. I think that was like
good stuff.
It was like 2004, 5. 6.
Were you of drinking
3?
age in 2005?
Sure. Yeah.
I don't know if you were.
Yeah, I was.
You shouldn't be outing yourself with those types of things.
Dude, I don't care.
Yeah, I was drinking back in 1980s.
I don't give a. Yes, I was.
I was a
don't
fetus.
Give a fuck. Yeah, I was. Dude, I was a bad kid. Okay, I was a bad kid.
Kids shouldn't
smoking. Dude, I was smoking.
Can I tell you why
cigs? I was smoking cigs.
Can I tell you why kids
beers?
should not drink beer or anything? Because it's bad. It doesn't taste good.
No, and it doesn't taste good. No.
Adults had developed a taste for them, and also mainly, even though adults, there are some adults out there like, I just love the taste of it. They're lying to you.
You're a liar.
They're lying.
You don't love the taste of beer.
They're lying to themselves. They're lying to you. They don't like this. It's happy juice, man. It makes you feel good. It's what it is, and the taste is fine. Some of them taste better than others. Yeah. Some of them taste terrible, which I will not drink.
Some of them you end up like just learning to like because you just had it so much. Yeah. You're just like, oh no, it's good. It's like that's a familiar taste.
Like that's why kids shouldn't drink because it doesn't taste
like
good.
Sad.
Drink your soda. Like if you're gonna kill yourself with beverages, do it with sugar, not with alcohol. What are you doing? Gross. Tastes like sad. Do you fill out bracket? Oh yeah, you probably aren't even aware because you don't pay attention.
I saw it. Dude. I don't want to do it this year. I'm gonna skip this year. I promise next year I'm gonna do everything.
Aren't you the college basketball guy?
I haven't watched shit this year because we were good for a little bit and then we were bad. I mean,
who cares?
Okay, can I fill a bracket out? Because I thought it was like noon today or something.
It's noon tomorrow. They pushed the deadline. ESPN or whoever. So just do it after the show. It's easy. Dude, I don't watch any college basketball, but it's fun to fill out the bracket.
Got you some peach bush.
You got Bush Peach. Wait. Oh, Bush. Wait. Really?
I'm sure it's probably back out by now, yeah.
Oh, no, Bush Apple. I'm thinking about Bush Apple, not Bush Peach.
Yeah, right. Apple. I heard Apple's coming back, too.
Well, usually when you hear things, it's accurate.
I got inside sources.
Is it that guy from the
No, it's
Kroger?
not. Well, okay, there's several things. I heard it through a couple other channels. I'm not gonna disclose my sources.
Don't do that. No.
Heard it through a couple other places, and also there was a point this year. Bush. They did an Instagram post about Bush Apple, like, oh, remember this? Like, oh, look at this. Remember? Like, oh man, this stuff was good, wasn't it? Like,
why do they like? Were they not selling enough Bush Apple?
No, they were. They just wanted to move to another one, but everybody wants the Apple back.
It's like McDonald's taking away the Big Mac because they just want to change it up.
No, they're gonna do.
Why would they do that?
They're gonna do watermelon next, I'm sure. Now that they have Ross Chastain as their NASCAR driver, he is the watermelon man. Like, they're gonna do watermelon next. I guarantee it.
Bring back the apple.
The apple was great. It really was. It was good stuff. All right, let's start this show.
You want to do that? You got me wanting to yawn now. I just want you to know that I'm fighting the urge.
Yawning. I'm done yawning.
Harder than you've ever fought in your life.
Arnold Palmer spiked original half and half iced tea lemonade.
It makes you sleepy.
Made with real juice.
Yeah, the yawns make me sleepy. I need some water. Hate you.
Ow now, brown cow.
Ow now, brown cow.
One more thing before we start the show. One more thing that is not video game related that we have to talk about. I don't know if you've seen it, but it is sports related since we were talking about sports.
There it is.
The Happy Gilmore 2 trailer. Have you watched it?
I saw it.
Oh my God. I am so excited for that. So excited. It looks good. Like, it actually looks good.
It looks like what I thought it would look like, which isn't a bad thing, but it's not really a good thing either. It's just kind of like, oh, yeah. Yep, it is.
I'm so excited about that, man.
Looks like old Adam Sandler
movies.
putting on Happy Gilmore outfit with
the
same most of the same cast of characters.
Yeah, I know. It's great. Right? Oh, God. Start the show. Start the damn show.
Let me give you an analogy of what this trailer looks like to me.
I wish I had a boo.
This trailer to me, it looks like you got the grocery store vanilla cake for your birthday. There is nothing wrong with vanilla white frosting cake on your birthday. But like, if you were kind of hoping, or if it was like a bigger event, and like you like, oh, they were building this cake up, you were getting a surprise party, whatever, man. Like, you get that slice of grocery store cake, and it tastes really good. I like grocery store cake. But it would have been cool if we got like some fondant with some heavy stuff, or like, I don't know, double chocolate, triple chocolate cake, or, you know,
double chocolate,
pretty much anything high quality. This looks like exactly what you thought it was going to look
exactly what it should be.
Looks like they want to make some money, is what it looks like.
Yo, fondant sucks. Yeah, it does. That stuff is terrible. It makes cakes look awesome. It tastes like dog shit. Start the show.
I like fondant. Nothing wrong with fondant.
Awful.
Normally, fondant's put on cake that tastes really good. So I agree that fondant isn't the best, but like the cake, they put fondant on. They don't put that shit on like basic vanilla sheet cake. They make delicious gourmet cake. They put fondant on. If it's got fondant on it, it's going to be a good cake. Even if fondant sucks. Even if fondant sucks.
Debatable.
If you want me to start the show, you should turn the music off.
I already turned the music off. I don't know what you're hearing.
Oh, Drip. What are we going to do with you? It's happening right now. My computer's acting weird. I hope something happens during the show. I think it needs a restart, but we're too late. We're too late. Here we go, guys. Like the stream. We'll see you in
like the stream, guys. Please leave a like on the stream.
All right.
Share it with all your friends. Tell them to come watch. Tell them to subscribe. You know,
follow us on social media. All these things.
Maybe become a member.
Maybe, I don't know. We kind of suck, but you know.
No, it's fine. We have a 99-cent tier now.
I didn't make that.
Don't we?
Completely forgot about that. I will do that. Just completely forgot about it. I might do it during the podcast.
Okay, yeah, do it in the intro. Talk about it during the intro.
Okay. That's a lot to ask. Okay.
No, you got this.
Here we go.
Everybody, give Jeeb some confidence in the chat. He can do it.
Here we go.
He can do it. It's going to be great.
Welcome, everyone, to the German J Podcast. I'm your host, Uncle Jeep, and with me is Host Media Gaming. We record this podcast live every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You listen to this podcast on Apple, Spotify, or anywhere you listen to podcasts. You can also become a member of this podcast to get extra podcast content every single month. And that's exactly what I'm currently clicking my little thingies here to do during this intro. I forgot last week that we announced a 99-cent tier, and then I forgot to create said 99-cent tier. So I'm going to do that right now while Drip talks for a few minutes. Drip.
Yeah, I am going to talk. Guess what? We're already about to get a 99-cent.
I'm sorry. That's my bad. Before you do, I just want to mention as well that we're talking about Switch 2 tonight. We're talking about all the little things that that's kind of been trickling out information wise. We got a patent that's coming out. That was already come out. Nintendo released this patent. It's about AI upscaling, which is really interesting. Nothing new. We knew that they were going to do that, and there was already another patent before it. But this patent just confirms what we kind of expect, and we have some thoughts about the patent and how it could look in reality. Also, potential price for Switch 2. We're going to talk about Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, which I don't know. We're going to talk about it. You guys are going to hear it because we're going to talk about it. And like Switch 2 availability. And there's some really interesting information, numbers we got regarding its availability at launch. With all that said, Drip, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great. I just wanted to let you know that it looks like we already have a 99-cent tier member joining. Jeff Troidvania said he's getting in there as soon as it's in there. He's about to join. Now it's going to be made. So thanks in advance, brother. Appreciate that.
I don't know how fast I can do this. I'm going to try to see if I can do this without like figuring it out. But yeah, you keep talking there, buddy.
Yeah. I mean, I want to talk about the members for a minute. That's kind of why we wanted to do the 99-cent tier. We do a lot of extra content for the members. There's a backlog of really interesting episodes that we wouldn't really do live. They're more of some of them are kind of based on things that are happening at the time, but a lot of them are evergreen. They're things that we don't really do during the the regular show, but they're really fun, and we do them live. And most of the time, we let members be a part of them as well. And the more members we get, the more of those we're going to do, the more things like that we're going to do. So I feel like the 99-cent tier is the way to do that. So if you're not a member, become a member. It's 99 cents. You get more of us. And who doesn't want more of these two lovely faces in your life? I mean, seriously, who doesn't want that? Everybody wants that. 99 cents.
That's right.
It's a deal. It's a deal of a lifetime.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And really, I just created it. It needs like a processing time. I'm sure it's going to take a few minutes at least. Maybe the rest of the episode. I don't know. So whenever that's available, Jeff, let us know whenever that's available. 99 cents.
Yeah, and I'm going to let you guys know if you're not watching this live, it's probably available.
Yeah, if you're watching this after the fact, of course, we record these things live, like I say. But if you're watching this after the fact, it's most likely available right now. So you want to jump in there, 1 cent a month? No, can't work for that cheap. 99 cents a month, which with inflation, that might buy me enough time to steal some bread. 99 cents a month.
No,
it'll keep me awake at night with my change in my pocket jingling around.
It'll fall out in your bed and stick to your back.
The money's not the point. The point is try to get you guys in a little exclusivity club. No, just to get you guys content early. Yeah. And that helps us out a little bit. Helps us out a little bit. Helps you guys out a little bit, and we appreciate you guys. You'll get access to. I gotta figure out. I set it up quickly, but you'll get access to the live streams that we do, and that's it. You'll get access to the live streams that we do, the extra podcast content, which is also the live stream. So yeah.
If we get up to 25 members, we'll add something else.
Sure. If we ever get there, maybe one day we will.
Yeah.
But Drip, we got some stuff to talk about here. We're gonna stop talking about member stuff because I'm sure we lost everybody. Welcome back if you're coming back. Metroid, Drip. You're playing some Metroid right now.
Yeah, I've been playing Prime remastered again.
Prime. Are you drinking Prime?
I'm not. That stuff sucks. That stuff is terrible. Have you ever had it?
Yes.
I don't want to go on a big tangent on that. Dude, that stuff is awful.
It has nothing to do with the man's politics, but who makes it? The asshole. What's his name?
It's the what's his name? The Paul.
The Logan brother, or the Paul brother, whatever. His drink sucks.
It's just bad stuff.
It's not good.
It tastes awful.
Yeah, it's not very good. Like at best, it's overly sweet.
Gatorade.
At best, it's overly sweet.
It's overly sweet Gatorade. It's just like, it's awful. Anyway, that doesn't matter. Metroid Prime, amazing.
Prime?
Great. Prime 1 looks amazing on the Switch. So amazing that when they showed Prime 4, I thought it was Prime 2 and 3 remastered. I was like, oh, is that what this is? No, it's Prime 4? Okay.
Which is a compliment, of course, because Prime Remastered 1 looks so great.
It looks amazing. So Prime 4 Beyond, supposedly, we got people out here on the internet saying that it is going to be at the Switch 2 Direct, and it will steal the show. It will blow everything else out of the water, is the quote. Blow everything else out of the water. Okay, that's what it says.
That's what the internet says. So
that's what the internet says, and the internet doesn't lie. But my question is, what type of water are we talking about? What body of water are we talking about? Are we talking about is it going to be the best game at the Direct? Is it going to be the thing that has the most focus? Is it going to is it going to look better than the Switch version? Like what's the thing? Or, the other thing, is there some big secret? Is there something Nintendo hasn't shown us yet about Prime 4 Beyond, where there's a gimmick of the Switch that this thing's going to have? What is it? What is the thing that's going to blow us out of the water, do you think?
Before I tell you what I think, I will say this. I was on Mike Odyssey's podcast on his YouTube channel. Guys, last week, so on last Friday. So if you guys want to check that video out, that is on his channel, Mike Odyssey. It was a great time to be on his show. We want to thank Mike, and Thunderstash was a guest on there as well that night, and we had a great time talking with Mike. And a few of these topics are from that show. So I've already talked about these things on that show. But I'm going to bring you guys some more on this one.
Yeah, I did get to catch some of that. It was a good show. Definitely check that out.
Metroid, what was your question exactly that you want me to answer?
My question is, what is the thing that's going to blow us out of the water?
What's the thing?
They're very vague about this. Like, what exactly are we talking about?
I don't know. Some of the I don't want to call them leaks. I don't want to call them really anything. Just a Twitter post that I read. I don't want to say that has any validity whatsoever because I don't know. I don't know this guy. I don't really. Maybe some people do out there know him. I don't know him. So first of all, I want to say that I don't really trust that as a source because I don't know much about it yet. That guy and what he has to say. I want to talk about the idea of it, like the idea of Metroid stealing the show. What would it be? What would Metroid be? Metroid Prime 4. I think something we talked about on Mike's show, I think is a really interesting idea, is that there's a gimmick in the game, and a good gimmick, because we've already seen, of course, the mouse functionality for Switch 2 Joy-Cons. It'd be really interesting, and Metroid is an FPS. It'd be really interesting to see Nintendo be the first, right, to implement true like mouse support in the game, but with their game controller, not just like plugging
on a console,
a console, and not just plugging in a mouse and keyboard, because you can't do that on PS5. You didn't know. I think you can do that on Xbox too.
You can do that on the Xbox.
You can just plug in. You can just plug in
sure.
a keyboard and mouse in those systems. It's nothing new.
Yeah.
Actually, you can do it on the Switch, I think, too. Can't you? I don't know.
You can use there are certain things you can use a keyboard for. Yeah, you can.
But we're not talking about that. We're talking about like natively in the game with the hardware you get in the box. On the controller, it features a mouse. And I think this is perfect because I'm somebody who suffers from a bit of hand pain. I probably got tendonitis. I drummed for my entire life. I played sports. I was very rough on my hands my entire life. I did, not to mention my warehouse work I used to do. So, I was very rough on my hands. I got issues. Keyboard and mouse is no longer an option for me. It just hurts too much after a while. It's not ergonomic enough for me. I got like a pretty ergonomic setup here. But to like use the Joy-Con and then a joystick in the other hand, you're using a joystick in your left hand to move, which is the part that hurts, and in the right hand you got a mouse. That seems like the best of both worlds to me, and it's that would be a great opportunity for Metroid Metroid is a great opportunity for Nintendo to show off that tech.
If they're going to do something like that, that would be the place to do it. But my question is this. Is that really blowing us out of the water?
I don't think so. No, I think it's a cool feature.
Okay.
But I don't think it's like going to steal the show.
That's what I'm saying. It's very cool. It's very cool. That would be awesome if you could do that. If there's a lot of games you could do that with, that's cool. One, I don't think that's it, because I feel like if that's really going to be something that they're focused on, a lot of games are going to be able to do this, and this wouldn't be like, it's going to steal the show, blow everything else out of the water. Because I feel like the mouse is going to be used in other things. I don't think that's it. I have no idea what it could be, unless it's some type of weird mechanic that we have no idea about. The only other thing I can think about it being is like it being that much more graphically impressive than what we've already seen of the Switch 1 version, which I don't really see that.
And that's a weird can of worms to open up if that's
like
the case.
How much further can they go?
Well, I think
the Switch 1 version looked pretty damn good, didn't it?
Yeah, but don't forget, number one, we only saw a couple minutes of it.
Yeah.
And number two, as good as it looked, it's not. There's room to improve resolution and frame rates.
I guess you're right. Frame rates, yeah. Okay, cool. So Prime 4 is going to be 4K 120. and have like amazing textures and just be like the most amazing looking Nintendo game that's ever existed. That would blow everything else out of the water.
Yeah.
I mean, even if it wasn't that high, like I'm setting the bar pretty high there. It doesn't even have to be that high. Let's say it does run 1440, but
I have a question for you, Drip.
Target 120 frames per second.
Does frame rate resolution blow you out of the water? Like if let's say it's 4K 120. Let's say that. Of course, it's going to be assisted by AI upscaling, which we're going to talk about later in the show.
I don't care.
But like, does that 120? Have you even seen 120 before? Your phone probably has 120. But if you gamed in 120,
listen,
I've never. I have gamed in 120. My PS5 on my TV back there. 120 looks really good.
It does. It does.
But is that going to blow you out of the water?
Okay, I'm the wrong person to ask about that because I don't give a shit about frame rates. I don't care. As long as it's running a frame rate and stays at that frame rate, I don't give a shit. It doesn't bother me at all for a game to be at 30 frames per second or 60 or it doesn't bother as long as it stays there and I can play the game at that frame rate and it doesn't dip up and down. That's what bothers me because that's what takes me out of a game. Like Echoes of Wisdom. The frame rates up and down and up and down and up and down because they were trying to hit a place they couldn't hit and it was just they should have just done 30.
Yeah. Because
it's not like the frame rate got like stupidly bad. They were trying to hit 60 and then it would just take a nosedive to 30 or wherever it was going.
Which is a big difference when you're bouncing back and forth.
When you're going back and forth,
quickly.
Yeah.
It's not even like areas are slower. Like some areas are 30.
It's just
some
literally
areas are 60.
like you're walking
it's
and
bouncing back
60,
and
60,
forth.
30, 60, 30, 30, 60. Yeah.
It's very jarring.
It's impossible. It's like that takes me out of a game completely.
Immersion,
but
man.
If you're sitting there like 30, solid.
It's fine.
I'm fine.
60
solid, even better. 120, cool. Why not? But honestly, if there's a 120 option, I'm probably backing it off and giving myself more resolution and taking the 60. I'd rather have that than the 120, honestly. I want it to be crispy.
I'll say this, Drip. I don't think Nintendo really wants this console to be anything more in the public eye than a better Switch. It's just like your old Switch. It is new, though, and it is a lot better, and here's why. And picture this. Metroid is the poster child for why the Switch 2 is better. You got all this. You got all of your library of games from the Switch 1. You got the versatility. You got the versatility of the original Switch, but better and bigger. Literally, you got the power
just figured it out.
and the features that you didn't have in the Switch 2, and that's where Metroid comes in. Metroid comes in to show you the power and features. The power, they're going to be like, this is the first Nintendo game to run 4K 120. Those of you who care,
that's it.
There you go. And not to mention that, if you like FPS and you like to use mice, both of the features, both of those things could blow it out. Like together, that might be the right formula if they present it well enough.
Okay,
and there's some other things we don't know.
Yes,
it could be the blowing out of the water that we're looking for.
And that could be the thing that because that's one thing we've talked about a lot with this game. It's not a system seller. It's not the tentpole game to release your system with.
Yeah,
but alongside another really big game, having this one also right there at launch or close to it to show, just like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe did, look at this. 1080, 60, running smooth as hell. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe looks amazing. And on the Switch. Yeah. That was kind of what showed, like, look, solid as hell. Look how good this looks. Metroid Prime could be that example of that, only the next leap of that for Nintendo. That's why it makes sense to be a game coming out so early on the system. That's why it fits. That's kind of where I've been with this game the entire time. Is like, I don't think it's going to be a launch game just because it's not a system seller. But alongside another big game, having that as it's like, this is why this game is going here. Not only is it going to be a good game, there's going to be a lot of people who want to play it, but it's also going to show off graphically and frame rate wise, what this thing is actually capable of doing, which is, you're right, something Nintendo does want to show, especially right now, considering they're putting out a 2 of their system and they've never done that before. They really need to show, look at this one, look what it can do.
I think 4K 120 is taking it too far, though. I'm not sure if that's possible. One or the other. We could do 2K 120, or we could do 4K 60. I think that's doable because we had 1080p 60 on the Switch for Metroid Prime Remastered, which is, again, that is a feat of mastery. I don't. What's their name of their studio? Retro Studios. Again, I every chance, and if I ever meet one of them, I'm gonna salute them like I would an Army veteran for the work they've done.
Yeah,
for the work
Prime
they've done
Remastered is
for
like
the Nintendo Switch.
Insane, dude.
Like
Prime
unbelievable stuff they were to accomplish on the Switch, mainly with Metroid
Prime 4. Switch 2 version or not, looks incredible. It's gonna look great. It's gonna run great, I'm sure.
I want to bring up here, Drip. I want to thank Joey Pitts for becoming a member of our thank you tier. That's what I quickly called it in my fit of quickly putting it up there. So thank you, Joey Pitts, being the first member of the thank you tier on our
99 cents, man. It's worth it.
I'm not sure if it's going to remain that name. I might change it up. I was thinking like Arizona Tea, something like that, because it's been 99 cents for 4 decades, it feels like.
The Arizona Tea tier.
Arizona Tea. I think that was where my head went, but I didn't do it.
That's actually really good.
I might go back. I might go there. That. I think that's where I'm going to go with it because
99 cents.
If you like it, yeah. But yeah, thank you. Good. Thank you for becoming the first member of the Arizona Tea tier.
Dude, I got one of those last night.
Dude, somebody sent me. I think it might be my brother sent me like egg prices versus Arizona tea prices for the past 30 years.
Solid 99 cents.
It's just funny. Like it's literally just a line across for 99 cents, and eggs have been below that, though? And now eggs are above that, and it's been really funny.
I got the Arizona the Mucho Mango. Have you had that?
Mucho Mango.
Mucho Mango.
I don't really get the Arizona teas anymore. Not because I don't like them, just because I don't really see them and I don't buy them. Just not something I do.
Okay, well I like the watermelon. I like the mango. They're not teas. They're just like juice cocktail from concentrate. But it's good stuff. Anyway, yeah, I think if they do what we're saying, if that's the thing, that would be a big thing. And can we kind of go into like what I was talking to you about earlier about the Direct in general?
Sure.
Okay, this is going to be an unpopular opinion. Jeeb already knows what I'm going to say, so I'm just going to preface this with that. This is going to be a very unpopular opinion. I think I'm going to go in depth on this in a video this week. I think people are overhyping this Direct and what's going to be there.
Ooh.
I think they are wildly overhyping what this is going to be. Nobody's talking about this. No one is saying anything about this, but let's really stop and look at what we have as far as information on this Direct. A brand new system was announced. And in that short trailer of the system, they said there's going to be a Nintendo Switch 2 Direct. They're going to talk about the system. Like, that's what they're going to talk. That's what this Direct is going to be focused on. There's so many people talking about, well, we're going to see third-party support. We're going to see this. We're going to see that. Are you sure? Like, are you sure? Because I don't see that happening. I see this being a 20 to 30-minute Direct talking specifically about the features of the Nintendo Switch 2, pricing possibly. We may not even get that. We may at the end. Release dates. Things that they changed, like in-depth focuses on the mouse mechanic itself. I don't see them showing us 15 trailers of games. It doesn't make sense to me at all. I don't think there's going to be, they're going to say, here's Metroid Prime 4. Oh, and the mouse does this. Also, a new Mario. Oh, and the Joy-Cons are magnetic. Oh, and here's Red Dead Redemption 2, and this, and that, and 4 other games from Rockstar, and this, and like that's not going to happen. It's not. It's not. That would be like, if you really step back and think about it, that is putting way too much on people at one time. That's putting way too much on people at one time. I think, in my opinion, and I want yours, my opinion is we are going to see maybe a few third-party games in passing. Maybe mentioned. I think we will see what the new 3D Mario looks like, because I think that'll be maybe the launch game. Maybe not. It may be later this year. Like, I think we'll see a full Mario Kart trailer. I think we'll see a Prime trailer. And I think that's probably going to be it. Like, it's going to be focused on the system. I don't see this really being a game-focused direct, and I keep seeing this everywhere. What do you think?
I was almost exactly aligned with you up until you said Mario 3D. Because
you don't think they'll show it on the screen like they did Mario Kart?
No. Maybe. Yeah, maybe. They might just show it on the screen. We're not getting information on it. Just like
I don't think so either. I think they'll show us.
Just like we didn't get information on Mario Kart 9 or whatever it's going to be called.
Right.
We just saw it. So yeah, I think we might see it. We might see a Zelda.
Yeah, anything. You can see stuff.
It might be Tears of the Kingdom or maybe Breath of the Wild,
I really think we might see Zelda.
Can I say we might see Zelda?
Okay.
We probably will see 3D Mario in passing.
Yeah, I think that'll be.
We're going to get, not only will we see, but we're going to get more information on Mario Kart 9.
I think that's the one that they will actually go into detail on.
I think we'll see little snippets of other franchises from third party that will be on Switch 2 day one.
Yeah, like a sizzle reel as the Switch is moving by doing its thing.
Just like we saw with Mario Kart 9, we're gonna see little B-roll shots. Are gonna have go back to the 2017 presentation of the Switch. They just kind of showed games. They'll just show games. Like they won't talk about them. The Mario 3D. I think Mario 3D is a good bet to be the Christmas game, the holiday game.
Yeah. It'll be the September, October launch, somewhere around there, so it's nice and primed for the holiday. I think the people who are expecting this to be a game-focused direct are going to be very disappointed. I don't think.
I agree.
It just does not make sense in
my
head.
We're not getting.
To see them try to.
It's not.
They're going to be
not
trying
Nintendo
to
Direct.
sell a system.
It's not a Nintendo Direct with games. It's a Nintendo Direct with the system. And some games will be on the system to show off the system, and maybe I think we're going to get some more information on Mario Kart 9. But it's
launch game,
not a guarantee. They might announce another direct in that direct where they're going to talk about games like another month or two after that.
Well, let me go with you on that. Let me go with you on that. So I want. We don't have to get into this like too far. We can do more on this. I'm going to do a whole video on this.
Jeff, thank you for becoming the next member of the thank you tier, as of it's going to be known as soon later to Arizona T tier, which I've already renamed it. It's got to be approved. But
99 tier. It's a good one. So okay, I think it's more likely that yes, we get this thing. They are going to be talking about the Switch 2 specifically. That I really don't think they're going to be focusing in on a ton of games, but that also is going to be probably that embargo date where other third parties can start to talk about their stuff and put things out and say, this game that we've already announced, Switch 2, here's the date, or at release, whatever. Then they can do that.
Sorry, we got to pause the show.
That's
a genius naming scheme, Jeff. I'm changing it again right now.
That is good. That's fantastic. Okay, so I'm gonna wrap this up, but I think maybe there'll be a direct later, because I mean, let them get the system out. Where we're hearing now, this thing might be coming out in like May. I mean, May or June sounds still, whatever, cool. Let the thing come out. Do a July presentation where you can talk about the rest of the year's games. I know it's not the month they normally do it, but I mean, they're releasing a console. It's different. And then you can come back in September and be right back on schedule.
Yeah.
I just don't see, I really think people are going to be disappointed if they're expecting a ton of games at this direct. I think it's going to be way more hardware focused. And we will
not
see
only that,
few games.
Not only that, but like a May release. I get where people are coming from, and I want it as well, just as much as you guys want it. A May release sounds too soon to me. Not because it's not feasible, not because we don't have a lot of units already ready to sell, like we'll talk about in a minute. I just feel like they want more time. They've waited this long already. Why would they? They made us wait another 2.5 months just for this April event. Why not have if it was a May release? Why not have this event in February, February, January?
Because of the world we live in. It's the world we live in is not a tell me about it and give it to me in 6 months. The world we live in is tell me about it. I need instant gratification. Give it to me now. And I think, again, because this is something we don't know how they're going to do this. We don't know how they're going to do this because I've said it 1,000 times. This new, these new people in charge of Nintendo who have not released a console yet could be doing things differently.
Yeah.
And they seem to, as far as we've seen so far, they seem to be a little more on point on things that are more modern and up to date as far as like what people want and how they want it.
Yeah.
So it would not surprise me if we saw them announce this thing or show it off in April and then be like, it's coming out in May. You can get it in a month. So that would not surprise me.
Joey Pitch brings up Thunderstash talk to Nintendo Prime.
Then you don't lose the hype either.
About how that's a feasible date, May 15th. And I'm not arguing, by the way, Thunderstash is a great guy. I love, was a great chat with him on Mike's show as well. I'm not arguing that that's not a feasible date. In fact, I would agree that it is a feasible date. My point is this, it's very simple. They've been making us wait and wait and wait this entire time, including the times they've been making us wait by not telling us, but they were delaying it. Don't be mistaken, this date, whenever it is released, it's a year overdue to the date that they already come up with. And that date initially was a push from a different date. Like, this system has been delayed and they've made us wait for internally and externally for so long.
No, there's never been a delay.
Hold on, let me talk. The external wait is from the January teaser trailer we got to April. That's the external wait. That's the only official external wait we've gotten. Yeah, you're right. The rest have been internal, but that is an external wait. Why not just show us the system off? Why not show the system off in January? Why they made us wait till April?
I think
if they shipped units out, which we'll get to in a second, in January, if the units were in the United States of America, hundreds of thousands of them in January, why would they not just show off more of the system in January when they gave us the teaser trailer and then say April's the release date? My point being is they've been making us wait this entire time, mostly internally and now externally. What makes you think they're just going to be so generous all of a sudden and just drop this thing in May? June makes more sense in my mind. Summer, baby. Summertime.
I don't know.
Summertime. Get the Switch. It's time for the Switch.
I don't know.
New season, new Switch.
I want it sooner.
Of course, we all want it sooner.
But I don't know. Either one's fine with me. But I mean, okay, I want to address this because I saw that, and that is very strange because as a avid Lego collector myself, this is odd. Very, very, very odd. Lego sets don't drop on the 15th of the month. They drop at the beginning of the month. That's what they do.
Okay.
Like, that's what they do. The Mario Kart Lego is dropping on May 15th. That's weird.
That is very weird. I will give you that.
Weird.
I'll give you that.
And if I'm not mistaken, the San Francisco Nintendo store also opens on May 15th.
Yes.
Weird.
So what if they're gonna feel free to announce those dates for those things happening then? Why wouldn't they just freaking tell us? Why are they making us wait to know when this thing's out? Why couldn't they've already just put out a tweet? The system's coming May 15th. Like last week.
Because they haven't told us about it.
They don't. Why would they have to? What makes you think they have to tell us during a direct? Why can't they? They already gave us a teaser trailer. They could have did it then. Why not just give us?
It's all about hype. It's all about marketing. That's it. That's why it's marketing.
You're telling me that we got all the hype we got on January. What was it? 16th. What was that day? 17th.
That was the hype to hype up the hype. The real hype comes the 2nd of April.
I don't disagree with you. I'm agreeing with you, except for that wasn't the reason the hype. They're not withholding the date.
That's the hype to the hype to the
They're
hype.
not withholding the date of the system release to hype.
It's hype. It's hype for the hype's hype.
There's already hype going on. There would have been even more hype if we got a date. They could have said it's coming out May 15th, and there's a direct on April 2nd going over all the features. Plus, you're going to see us in person in New York just Dallas and the entire rest of the world on this date in April to physically get your hands on it before it comes out. Like,
but guess what?
How easy would that have been? How easy would that have been?
You're right.
If there's already hundreds of thousands of units in the United States of America in January, how easy would it have been? Like, oh, and by the way, they're already there. We're going to distribute to them in May. Why not tell us?
Because
there's other things to hype. There's other things to hype.
Okay, but you're missing. Because then you're segmenting. You're segmenting the hype at that point.
No, you're not.
You're segmenting. Now, let me finish. Let me tell you about this. If you give the date, there is a group of people who are like, I don't really care what it has. It's a new Switch. It's going to be better. I'm buying it. Whatever. And then whatever. They're done. Those people are done. And then the people who are like, oh, I want to know every detail. They're like, okay, I can't wait for this direct. You're segmenting the hype. You put all the eggs in that one hype basket and you dump them all over people. And you break eggs all over the place. Very expensive.
Well, Drip, you're almost contradicting your own theory because if we're getting that we are getting that April 2nd direct and the May 15th release, of course all the games are going to be blown at the April 6th or April 2nd direct. Because when is there even time for another? They're going to wait 2 more weeks and then show the games off. Why would they do that? Just show the games off.
They're going to show the games that come out. No, they're going to show the games that will be launched with the system, which will be Mario Kart 9. And they're probably going to have third parties coming out of the gates on their own. Like, yeah, this is going to be there day one. I think the third party lineup is going to be pretty big. I just don't think Nintendo is going to be the one telling us about it. I think the other companies are going to come out day of or next day or through that week. Like, yeah, this game that's already here, Switch day one. This game, Switch day one. And then they're going to build as we go. And all these companies are going to be like, yep, we'll be there day one. You can go buy it with your system.
Third parties are going to blow their loads so soon.
Right.
Like, no doubt.
I mean, but you can, like, what's Nintendo going to do? Put 4 first-party games out day one? No.
We got 3 on the, we already got 3. We got Mario Kart 9. We got Metroid Prime. And
I don't think Metroid Prime 4 is not going to be a day and date. I think that will come a little bit later.
I disagree.
I think Mario Kart 9 might be the one. And then what if it's this? What if it's just the Breath of the Wild 4K? Breath of the Wild Deluxe at launch with Mario Kart 9.
That's what I have been saying. I believe so. If I'm mistaken, I could be, but I don't think I am. I believe I have been saying this has been the release date for like a year plus. Mario Kart, Metroid, which you disagree with, but that's okay. And Breath of the Wild day one, and Breath of the Wild HD or 4K, whatever they want to call it. Like, I think I've been saying that for a long time now because you got a brand new title, Mario Kart. You got a brand new title that's been long awaited, and now it makes even more sense because we're talking about how they could be featuring the Switch 2's features, like showcasing the features with the Metroid Prime. That makes even more sense. It's going to be day one, and then you got Breath of the Wild is going to sell because Zelda day one works. Breath of the Wild originally, Breath of the Wild is going to do it again on the Switch 2.
Well, okay. Yeah, I mean, that's possible. But I still disagree with Metroid Prime 4 just because, I mean, like I said, Mario Kart is kind of that thing I'm kind of comparing it to. Mario Kart didn't come out day one. It was later.
Right.
Mario Kart came out later.
Well, what was it? It was Snipper Clips.
I don't think
Snipper Clips. It was Breath of the Wild, and what was that third one? Arms?
Arms was later.
That
was it.
It wasn't just Snipper Clips and Breath of the Wild. It was something else, too.
I mean, there was like Bomberman, but that wasn't first party.
Maybe it was Bomberman. There was like 3. I wasn't there, of course, but apparently people were saying there was 3 games. I thought 3 games that came out day one.
I mean, there weren't many.
Yeah, like that was a big complaint.
1-2 Switch. That was it.
3
was it 1-2 Switch?
First,
That's what it was.
Yes, it was. 3
which we all said should have
games.
been the pack-in game, but they made you buy, which was ludicrous.
My point is that there was 3 first-party games there. There's gonna be 3.
Little dude, that's not Metroid Prime, Mario Kart. No. It's 1-2 Switch and Snipper Clips and Breath of the Wild.
You say it's little, but like it still takes time and costs money to do. It's not like I know it's Metroid Prime's been in baking for 8 years.
Okay, but it's not a Snipper Clip.
It is a dry, rotted charcoal brick of a game that needs to come out. So it needs to come out soon. And
it does. I don't think it comes out that soon. I think they want to do
even older. We've been waiting even longer for that one. It's not like these are not games that are like, oh my god, you're blowing my mind. First party, brand new time. No, it's like games that, of course, they're coming out, and they should come out as soon as possible. Those two, and then Breath of the Wild, which is just that's easy as heck to put out there. Again.
Man, I don't know.
It makes sense. It makes sense in my mind, but it doesn't have to in yours. But
all this argument really, like, all this does is really just make me want to, like, not believe the May 15th date. Like, all those things are weird that those are happening, but like, I just think about Nintendo and their marketing schedules and the way they normally do things. Like, are we really gonna just drop a Mario Kart 9? With a month of actual, like, marketing? That's it? Are we really going to do that? Because I didn't see Nintendo doing that.
Well, there's also a possibility, too. All the 3 games I mentioned, they don't actually necessarily have to be day one. I mean,
something's got to be day one.
Yeah, something else. I think it's Metroid. I really, really do. Metroid is
Mario 15.
If it's not day one Metroid, it's soon after. But like, I can see a world with
they said 2025.
I can see a world where Breath of the Wild remastered is the day one game. Plus, they're gonna market they're gonna market the crap out of all the original Switch games that your library of Switch games. On day one, I mean, that's marketable. That makes sense. That's the people should not forget about that.
It would be more marketable if those day one Switch games that we already own are going to be up-resed in some way.
What a beautiful segue. If only we were going to that segment, but we're not.
Oh, we should. Just go. God, just go. It's so good.
Oh, man. What a good marketing strategy that would be for Nintendo to announce that maybe there's only one game coming day one, but your entire Switch, first party that is, but your entire Gen 1 Switch games library is not only coming over day one, but it's going to be upscaled.
It looks better.
It looks better.
Like, that would be the thing where it's like, okay, we could do the 15th and Breath of the Wild 4K, or maybe, like, if you only had that big game, that would be the way to do it. If they're going to upscale all their stuff.
Yeah, and before we get to the upscaling, Joey Pitts with a $1.99 super chat. Thank you very much, Joey Pitts. Iowa State
women won. Go Iowa State.
Congratulations,
Big
Iowa
12.
State.
Let's go Big 12 teams.
Thank you, Joey Pitts, for your super chat. I appreciate that, my guy. So yeah, Nintendo put out another patent, and this patent is the second patent of the sort, talking about.
It is.
Well, I should say patenting. They're not talking about anything. They're patenting the technology to upscale games. And the example they use, I'm not going to show it on screen. I actually don't think it's very necessary to show it on screen.
Oh, it's fine. Let me explain it to you. You got the render image. It's going to the 540p image, then the prepare image, then the input. I'm not going to go through all of it. It's a lot of stuff.
It's a lot of words.
Basically, it is a system to upscale in their example, an image from 540p to 1080p, and then output it at that resolution.
As an example.
Yes.
Key term here.
Can we repeat that again, please?
As an example. Because how many times do we see a patent thing on a patent show the exact thing identically to what it's going to be put out?
I have seen many people talking about this as it's, oh man, 540 to 1080. That's what it's going to be.
Whoopie-doo.
No, this is an example. It's an example. And I mean, I kind of like what you said earlier when you were talking on the phone. This is an example of them basically doubling resolution.
Yes.
Which is a cool thing. That's cool, because if you double 1080, you're at 1440p. Basically, right?
2K. You can call it 2K.
Yeah, 2K. Yeah, instead of 4, you're at 2K, which, let's be real,
looks way better than 1080p. I can confirm to you folks out there,
especially on a Nintendo Switch. Yeah, I'll take that. I'm not gonna hate on 1440p. I'm gonna
2K 120 is how I play Fortnite on my TV. Looks great.
Oh, I bet. Oh yeah. Whew. Yes. You do that on the PS5?
Yeah. It takes away HDR. You don't get HDR, but you get 2K 120. More frames.
I might try that.
I prefer the 4K HDR. I do keep it on there, but I have been able to play some 120 Fortnite on the TV back there on the PS5.
Okay. All right. Okay. So, again, this is kind of a bigger deal because the last patent was more. It was very, very like general. It was broad. They were talking about like literally every single thing under the sun that they might be doing with this. This is pretty focused. This is basically showing like we are going to be upscale. Like we are doing this. Like this is the process of which it happens.
Yeah.
And the fact that they're showing that they can double resolution with whatever they're doing is a great sign. But as we do when we see these things, you and I scour the internet and watch, YouTube creators, people on Twitter, and just get a lot of, opinions, just kind of to just hear what's out there. I did hear one, and this is the thing that makes me really think that like people are taking this too far. Like 540p, like. We're not going to have Switch 2 games. And this is RGT said this. He's the one who's always got to have something to say and
that's his brand, man. I respect it.
Stir the pot. I respect it too. I love it. But yeah,
he's basically my brother. If you've ever met my brother, RGT is basically my brother.
He made a good point. I agree with this point. His point was developers are not going to make, especially third-party developers, they're not going to make a 540p version of their game to upscale it to 1080p.
No.
Like, what sense does that make? It makes zero sense, especially a third-party company who's already making the games to go on the Series X, Series S, the Series S especially. There's versions that are going to work on a Steam Deck. Like, why would we make a 540p version of the game? Like, why? I mean, yeah, you could maybe downscale a little bit just to save some room and maybe not be so taxing on the system, but you wouldn't go that far down.
Well, I can see a world where like a game, not Elden Ring, what's like a more
540p?
a newer game. No, forget the 540p because we're talking about the upscaling, not about the native resolution. The upscaling the native resolution is irrelevant. It's about the experience for the post experience after AI upscaling for the person. So
the end user, yeah.
The end user. So to get like let's just say Astrobot, for example.
Yeah.
If Astrobot were to come to the Nintendo Switch 2, it's a modern game that pushes the PS5 to its very limits to run it at 4K 60 on the PS5. I don't expect to see if there is an Astrobot port in Switch 2. Hopefully there is eventually. I don't expect to see it running 4K 60 ever.
No.
I think 1080p 60 is going to be just fine. It's a modern title, folks. Don't forget. I know it's cutesy graphics. It's an intensive game.
Yeah, I mean, it's still, yeah.
It's an intensive game. It pushes the PS5 to its limits.
Oh, it looks like a cartoon. It can't be that intensive. Like, that's not the case.
So a game like Astrobot would probably be running natively 540p on the Switch 2. But with upscaling, you're going to get that 1080p crisp 1080p image with a smooth, buttery, unadulterated 60 FPS instead of trying to get it to run natively 1080p and it's going to be a lower frame rate because a game like Astrobot, kind of you need 60 FPS. You don't really want to play that game lower frame rate. So
yeah,
I could see a world where modern titles, Monster Hunter Wilds is another good example. That game struggles in everything. Computers struggle with that game. That game's going to run 540p natively on the Switch 2. But they're going to upscale it to 1080p with AI upscaling.
I tell you what, I do trust them. That RE engine, man. What they did with Rise on the regular Switch, I mean, I know that was optimized for the Switch first. That game just ran so good.
Yeah.
It looked so good for what it was. Like it was great.
I
do trust Capcom with that.
Yeah. So that's just the examples of the games that will actually be running like the low resolutions because they're going to need to be because they're modern titles.
Though.
I don't know either. I'm not saying for sure. I'm just saying examples of games that could excuse me, that could actually. Sorry, I'm having an issue with my stomach. Those are examples of games that are going to be very taxing for the Switch 2 to run, and I believe,
but
you could be in that realm. But that's not that's just like modern title. Let's talk about like how this means for other games.
No, I want to talk about specific games here that I think you're going to be very interested in because you kind of brought this up earlier.
Okay.
You know what games do run at 540?
Yep.
Switch 1 games.
Yeah, handheld especially, yeah.
Like there are games that run at like 540p. So like what we just said about the big thing saying, hey, guess what? All these games are going to be upscaled on your Switch 2. Isn't that crazy with this right here? Now, of course, it can't just happen. There would have to be patches pushed to the games to give them what they need in the code to be able to understand what this is and do it.
Right.
But I mean, that's not a crazy thing. That's not a crazy thing. We've seen companies do it. I mean, Xbox did it with all their backwards compatibility stuff.
Yeah.
Took them a while to get all of it done, but they did it. They even did it with 360 games. It's not, I mean, it's not impossible. It's very, very simple to do if you've got the time to do it. That would be very interesting. If that's what this was for, and that's the big thing that we're going to find out at this direct, like, hey, guess what? All your Switch games run better. Or select Switch games run better.
Like we talked about.
More, yes. And then more along the way as we go.
And like we talked about at the top of the show. You combined Metroid, taking advantage of the mouse feature, and just being stunningly beautiful in the Switch 2. Combine that with your old Switch library is going to be upscaled. That's a launch. That is a launch of a system if I've ever seen one. Not to mention Mario Kart right around the corner. Probably Mario Kart. If Mario Kart is not day one, Mario Kart will be like the next month.
I still don't think Metroid Prime is. It cannot be that tentpole game that you're
what is the game?
Flag in that.
Give me something better. You can't just keep telling me it's not the game and not give me anything. Some games gonna have to launch with the system. And I'll tell you right now, it can't just be Breath of the Wild.
No. Oh well.
It can't.
I think, okay, if it's May 15th, I think maybe something like that Breath of the Wild 4K or whatever it is, that ultimate edition of a game we already know might be that. People are going to be fucking pissed over that.
Wait, hold on. Hold the phone.
But let me finish here real quick. Okay, if it's not May and we have a little bit more time, I think it's Mario Kart 9.
Okay. I'm sorry. I have to bring this up.
You're fine. Go.
Go. Breath of the Wild.
Right.
Deluxe makes no sense if what we're saying is true about the upscaling.
Oh, that's true.
Breath of the Wild Deluxe makes no sense.
No, well, it could if they're doing a definitive edition with all the DLC included and it's 4K upscaled and no, that kind of falls apart if you get it anyway.
No. They'll just sell they'll just sell the DLC again. They're not going to If
you're right, and it doesn't matter. I already have all of it anyway.
Yeah, I'm not saying what we're saying. What we've been saying is going to fall apart because of this, but can't be left alone here.
You're right. No, you're right. At that point, the argument it does fall apart.
If your Switch library is being ported over with upscaling involved, which is very possible.
Oh, that takes their whole.
They made
do this as
Nintendo just put a patent out there. They just put a patent out there, and the numbers on the screen match like Switch OG games resolutions. Like. Come on, guys. The Breath of the Wild Deluxe makes no sense.
No, you're right. It kind of doesn't now that we've if you have to remember this too. We are kind of going down a rabbit hole where we are believing that this is for Switch 1 games. That is still.
We're also down a rabbit hole that Breath of the Wild Deluxe is never coming. We're also down that rabbit hole. You know.
Well, I mean, that's not crazy. We know it was. I mean, we have a pretty good idea that they were showing that to people at some point.
Yeah.
But we don't know that it was...
Yeah, okay. And pause that, because that's where I'm going with that. Is that what if that presentation was misread the entire time? Well, that presentation wasn't Breath of the Wild is going to come out in a deluxe version of 4K in the Switch 2. What if that was showing off what the Switch 2 can do with its AI upscaling technology and your old games coming to the Switch 2? What if that's it? What if it's so much bigger than Zelda?
Jeff just said the same thing in the chat,
What if it's so much bigger than Zelda and it's all of your Switch games?
That would be crazy.
Insane would that be if that was a day one feature? Like your original Switch games get ported over, and you not only don't got to buy them again because you already bought them once, but they're gonna look better, and that's what sells this system. And Drip, I want to keep talking about that, but let's just let that simmer, because this is a fresh new idea that we've come up with on this show. Let's just let that simmer for a while, and let's talk about the price of the system, because Drip, if that's the case. That's a massive fucking feature. I'm sorry, but that is
that's crazy.
I mean, that's just insanity. And it does
put a
work.
bow in that for now. Let's put a bow in that. I like that. I want to come back to it with a little more thought.
Yeah.
Let's come back to that.
Let's
move on to the price.
And it does work, that theory, Nat, because They showed off Breath of the Wild. So you could say they showed it off because they're going to release a deluxe version, or you could say they're going to release a deluxe version because there's upscaling. And what would that cost? Are they going to really charge us for the development time for this and the patent filing and all that nonsense? Like, is this going to be we don't think it's going to be 500, but is there even a slimmer possibility?
Listen, I can tell you right now. I will tell you right now on the $500 thing. That's absolute insanity. I'm sorry, like anybody who believes that Nintendo is going to be okay with putting a $500 system out, we're talking Nintendo. We're not talking Xbox. We're not talking Sony. Mike, we're not talking, Valve. No, this is Nintendo, the family friendly. Make sure we can be in as many houses as possible. They are not going to sell a system at launch, a base system, for $500. They're not. I will die on that hill. I'm sorry. That is absolute insanity. No, there's no way they're going to do that. I hear that $500 thing going around. Like that is absolute insanity to me.
It is insanity. I personally do not think, not that there's not a world, but I don't think that it's really feasible, especially we're just talking the price of the Switch 2. That's it. I don't think it's $500. Even with that crazy upscale technology, I don't think it's going to make the system cost $500.
Because if it costs $500, they wouldn't do it. That's the thing. They wouldn't do that stuff if it was going to cost $500 for lots of reasons. One, Nintendo wants to be able to sell their system unlike everybody else. They want to be able to sell it for a profit. That's why they use old technology. But they are also a company who wants to keep it in a ballpark of a price where they can get these things out the door to more people. They want them to be available to more people, not just the hardcore gamers. They want people to be able to walk into a store, you and your kid's like, oh, I want, little Timmy, little Jimmy is going in the store.
Brother Timmy.
Oh my God. My dad and my uncle are named Tim and Jim.
It's a good old American name system.
Oh, my grandma. Jesus. Perfect. Anyway. Yeah, so little Jimmy and little Timmy are in the store, and, they're like, the Switch 2, Mom's going to be like, that's $500. No. Like, what? What are you talking about? Absolutely not.
I'm laughing because I'm picturing my mother. If I went to my mother when I was a kid.
500, Mom? Come on, yeah.
My parents were struggling.
Out of here.
My parents were struggling teachers in
$500 in this economy?
They're going to be
Get
like,
out of here.
My parents, it took them years just to get us, we got an original PlayStation 1 from Blockbuster rented from Blockbuster. They eventually bought it for us, I think it was like an Easter gift or something, but they eventually they bought the rented PS1 for us. I'm not talking about the updated PS1 that came out in the 2000s. I'm talking about
the original.
In 2001, my parents bought the original PlayStation 1 for us after all those years of us wanting one.
You got the PlayStation 1, not the PS1.
Correct. I call PS1 just because it's easier. But
the PS1 is what it's. Yeah, that's what they put on. I get you. I understand what you're saying.
And my parents, they represent at that time a lot of parents currently today, struggling parents. Opening credit cards, all that jazz, right?
Yeah,
the struggling
it's
parent.
Not like
they weren't going to buy a $500 brand new system for little Jimmy and Timmy just because they wanted it.
Nintendo just made a statement talking about how they want to make sure that they're affordable and they want to make sure that they can, that people can afford their system. They're not going to put a $500 system out. They're not. No, they're not.
But
$400 is what I think.
Like Matthew Duncan in the chat. But by the way, welcome to the stream, Matthew Duncan. Good to see you here.
Yeah, glad you could be here live. I saw that.
But
glad
$400 is makes more sense to me, Drip. And I mentioned this on Mike's show last week. I think there is a world that we can see $500 SKU. I really do. And that comes with kind of how they did what they did with the Wii U, where we got more storage on the Wii U. The more expensive Wii U had more storage. The more expensive Wii U had accessories, but the cheaper model did not have.
Like the charging stand for the controller. Yep. And what else did it have? I don't remember. Yeah,
it had stuff.
That's the one I got. Yeah, that's the one I got.
And it was a different color.
But that wasn't at launch, was it?
I don't know.
I don't think it was at launch.
I didn't buy it at launch.
Okay, here's the thing. And this is another reason we had this conversation a little earlier, and this is why we ended up deciding we were going to talk about this tonight. Is there a world where this is $350?
In a world. Is there a world
where the Switch 2 comes out and they shock everyone? And this thing is not only fully backwards compatible, it's got AI upscaling, it's going to run everything just like, basically like the Steam Deck, maybe a little better. As you told me earlier, you can get an OLED Steam Deck right now, right? OLED Steam Deck?
$400.
$400. What if they come in, not an OLED screen, but a good LCD panel and first-party Nintendo games for $350? What? Like we're just asking what if, right?
Play now. The game with us, folks.
But what if? Because again, this is where I want to go back to the thing that I have talked about for literally years, and I've already talked about it once tonight. This is a whole group of new people. We don't know what they're going to do, how they're going to launch this thing, what their strategy is whatsoever. So maybe I did just say this, but I'm going to go back on what I just said. What if this Nintendo company does want to make it affordable for their consumers, but also this time around is okay with taking a loss? And they put that thing out there.
Who's
for
to say it's a loss? Who's to say 350 is a
That's true.
loss?
At this point, looking at the hardware.
What if it's a very narrow profit margin or none at all? It's just that cost.
That's true. It could be. I mean, maybe it's not a loss. You're right. But what if this is a different strategy? We don't know. It totally could be.
Let's put our Nintendo corporate hats on. Let's think about this. Let's say that it's a foregone conclusion. Switch 2 is being launched on May 15th with full backwards compatibility, one game at launch, more games to come for $350. What's next? Because think about this. That's not a great idea for money. Because not many people are going to be buying a ton of games at launch. Because all the games they had already are coming over upscaled. So that really hurts our argument because they need to make the game sales to make the money.
Go here.
But if they're making less money in the system and they're not making any game sales, where are they making money at? What's next?
Well, hold on, because you're not thinking of another thing there. You're also at that 350 and the hype on this thing, which is why we need that hype on the second. You're going to get the Switch and with the gigantic numbers of Nintendo Switch 2 systems that we already know potentially that they have in the United States and everywhere else around the world ready to go, there's going to be plenty of these things at launch.
Yep.
So it's not like you're going to have a limited number and you can only get this many in this many people's hands. You could sell them at 350, have so many more people be like, absolutely, I was on the fence at 400, 350, I'm absolutely getting it. So you're selling way more. So in the long run, when your games do start to come out, the new ones, even if you don't have much right at launch, maybe you got one good game, you're going to have a lot more systems in people's hands right off the bat.
Yep.
With a gigantic launch number.
Yep.
You're going to have a ton of systems in people's hands ready for them to buy those games. You're going to have a base ready to go because you've taken maybe not as much of a profit.
Yep.
And got way more systems out there, and also had the solid business strategy of making a kabillion of these things early and getting them ready to go so you don't have to worry about scalpers and all the bullshit that everyone else has had to deal with. I mean, tell me, just you pick holes in it, please. Pick holes in it.
I got nothing to pick holes in. I'm going to help your argument.
Okay.
We got yes, they're losing more money. If they might be losing money on console sales, yes.
And you guys pick holes in it in the chat.
Yes,
put it in the chat.
Go ahead, feel free, or in our video chat. If you're watching this, after the fact if it's on YouTube. There's like you said, they might be losing money, and the games might be coming over from the original system and upscaled, so there's no reason to rebuy those games you already bought in Switch 1. Yes, that's all bad for Nintendo profit wise. But keep on, like I said, what's next? What's next? Price increase on Switch Online. Number one.
Yeah.
Goes up to $80 to $85 a year for a family plan.
It's happening anyway.
No, I'm saying that's what it currently is. $85 a year for a Nintendo Switch.
Okay, I don't know how much it's going to be is what I'm saying.
Let me just, hold on.
It will go
Hold
up.
on. Let me just, I'm going to keep on going with this.
Cook,
so you just I'm going to keep cooking. So the price increase Switch Online, significant price increase. Because like I was saying, $85 a year for family plan is the most expensive they got. That ain't paying the bills. That ain't paying the bills. I'm gonna say it's gonna be over $100 for a year for one person. And family plan, it's gonna look a lot more like the PlayStation and Xbox model. Let me tell you right now.
It could. Okay. Okay.
I'm with you still. Let me keep cooking.
I'm with you.
Strong third-party support. Brand new third parties or third-party games third parties that did not exist on the original Switch, like Elden Ring, and that's all I got in my head right now. But there's other third-party games that did not come out on the original Switch that can come out day one on Switch 2. They're going to sell those games. That's going to make a lot of money.
Jesus Christ, dude. Like, think about it.
Let me cook, Drip. Let me cook. We're painting a picture here.
I was going to give you some games. I mean, you got Elden Ring. Red Dead Redemption 2 has been rumored. I mean, my God, there's so many. There's so many. Mm-hmm. So many. And not to mention all of the Microsoft stuff. Like, all that stuff could come. Because I think Microsoft is going to be like one of the biggest.
Let's throw that in there. Microsoft, maybe even Game Pass might come to Switch too. Who knows?
No. That is not an Xbox. Excuse me, sir. That is not an Xbox.
We're getting wild. But, I mean, at the very least, like, more third-party Xbox titles could come to Switch 2.
Yeah,
and the big ones.
Okay, so keep going.
Keep cooking. And this is what I came on top of my head. Of course, this is a little bit longer down the road. A Switch Lite 2 will come out.
Yeah,
that will be profitable. It will. That system will be profitable.
Oh my God! Can you imagine a handheld one-piece device?
It'll be cheap for them. It'll cheap for them to make.
Handheld.
Can't.
Oh,
can't wait to see
God!
It.
No Joy-Con. Give me that
Switch
right
2,
now.
The Switch Lite 2 is going to emulate everything of the Switch Lite 1.
Because I'm back on a Switch Lite.
The form
just in case
factor,
anybody here doesn't know. Yeah.
It's going to emulate the form factor. It's going to emulate the price decrease, which is going to be, and it's going to be cheaper, like the Switch Lite was cheaper to manufacture. But it's going to have the same power as the Switch 2, and it's not going to be able to dock. It's going to emulate all those things. It's going to be it's going to save Nintendo money. It's going to make them money. It's going to sell a lot to kids, which is one of their bigger markets, of course. And it's gonna make them money, most importantly.
We know Switch Lite's the best way
going
to play.
Along with that, of course, I think within 2 years of the Switch 2's coming out, we're getting a Switch 2 OLED. I mean,
I don't think it's gonna be OLED this
You
time.
don't think so? I kind of think it might. I think we might get.
I think it will.
I think we might get an
screen.
OLED Drip. I think we might get an OLED first, and then a Pro model after. Because I think. You predicted this. You predicted this years ago. You predicted that the Nintendo should use a model like cell phones and incremental upgrades over years. So think about every 2 years. In 2 years, we're gonna get Switch Lite 2 and Switch Lite OLED. Like comes at the same time. One's more expensive than the original Switch 2. One's less expensive than the original Switch 2.
This time
and we
around,
create a family.
We kind of already. Well, yeah, we've already. That's kind of expected already anyway. So okay, I'm with you on that.
Yeah. And then 2 years after that, or more, who knows, a Pro version of it. And then 2 years after that.
And we sell it for?
I don't know. We're not going to get into that. 500 or more.
No.
A Pro version of the Switch 2? A Pro version?
450. Because we're selling this one for 350.
That's that. But
it's still in that world. Remember, we're still in that world where this costs $350. Don't forget that.
All these other things are profitable. Everything I just said is profitable besides the two first things I mentioned, which is the Switch 2 could cost $350 and either be at cost or not make a lot of money. And bringing over your old game library is going to make Nintendo lose more money because they can't resell you those games. So and you're not going to want to rebuy them anyway because they're going to be upscaled in Switch 2. So yes, that might be a bad argument in terms of like not making a lot of sense. But if you just paint this picture, that's very likely that could happen.
Before you get too far away from that, hang on. Before you get too far away from that, another side of that coin is that's kind of incentive to buy a Switch 2 because you say it won't make them money, but like think about the people who don't have, let's say, I didn't buy ARMS. Maybe I want to buy ARMS because now I know not only is it ARMS and it's that game that I haven't played, but it's also upscaled and new. It's modern to the console I have. So to me, this is still a new modern game that I haven't played. Think about the people who haven't bought a Switch, who want to get a Switch 2 now, and they say, oh, that whole entire back catalog that everyone bitched about being low resolution, oh, it's not anymore. It's just all upscaled, and that's the full library coming over, or most of it, and more coming. That's another reason why, you would sell more Switch 2s, I think, in the long run. If you really think about it.
Yeah, you would.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry,
I was done. I was done, but we keep alluding to this, and let's just throw this into the pot as well. The same conversation. Apparently, in January this year, in North America received 380,000 Switch 2 units. That was in January this year. We're currently in March.
So how many more are
warehouses
around the United States right
now? Between that time, from then to now, how many more are here? I was talking again on Mike's show the other night. We were talking about this. I think it was Paul Gale who was on the show for a little bit that night. Mentioned that that's not enough. Like that number alone isn't it's a big number.
A hell of a start.
It's not, that number alone is not enough to supply the entire North American market at launch, but it's close. And between then and now, there's definitely more. So
there's video game analysts out here saying that. I'm telling you, my prediction from months back that this thing's gonna go fucking crazy. Everybody's jumping on that shit now. I wasn't wrong. I was not wrong.
About what?
Because there's video game analysts out here saying this is probably going to be one of, if not the biggest console launch ever.
Yeah. And that number, that big number in January, contributes to that.
They're gonna have the supply and more to equal the day one demand and the word of mouth demand from the kids who show up at show and tell that last little bit of school. If it comes out in May, they're like, we'll go to Switch 2 or whatever. You're on vacation, on a plane, whatever. Yeah. Doing this, doing that. Kids are out like, oh my God, look, that kid's got a Switch 2. Then you're like, damn, I want one. It's fine. You can go to Walmart and grab one. You'll get one. Doesn't matter. They're there. They're easy to get. Not a problem. This is going to be the highest. This is going to be the highest selling console of all time, and I think it's. I will stand by. I don't know what the date was that I said it on this podcast, but I'm standing by that statement, and I think it even more now.
I will say this. We said the same about Tears of the Kingdom was going to be the best-selling Zelda game by far, and at least you were saying that. I was saying it was going to.
I was
saying it's going to fall short, but not as short as it fell, and you were saying it was going to go above Breath of the Wild, and that's not.
I thought maybe it would, man.
So we've been wrong about this kind of thing in the past, and here's what I think. I think you're wrong about it again, but not like grossly. I think you forget that it took Nintendo to get these numbers. It took them 8 years to get them.
It did,
and the Switch 2 is not going to be
a console that was a piece of dog shit as far as sales went.
The Switch 2 is not going to be out for 8 years, at least not the same way the Switch was, like the exclusive Nintendo console. There's going to be Switch 2, Switch Lite, Switch OLED, Switch Pro, maybe even
all in the Switch 2 family.
Yeah, but within 5 to 7 years max, and then the next thing is going to be out because the console cycles are not 8 years long. We already know why it took so long with the Switch original. It's not going to be the same. It's not going to be the same case with the Switch 2. And you don't know the sales. And you don't know the sales going to be higher. We both don't know these things, but we're making our predictions.
Listen, if you go back very early, like probably around the time when I started doing YouTube, I believe there was a investors meeting, I think it was, where Nintendo did talk about the future of the Switch and how long it would be around. And they did mention a year number. I think they said they did say it was going to be a long, long time. Like the Switch will be around for a long time.
Yeah, but their plan, when they said that, their plan changed drastically after that. Because COVID just blew up their plans. We know this. We know
this was before COVID, though. They were saying the Switch will be around for a long time. Like so this generation will be a long generation.
Follow me here. Right. Before COVID, they said that. They did not predict COVID happening. So when COVID happened, that blew up their plans. We know this. We know that's what happened. COVID. So whatever plans they had in 2017, they were saying, even if they were saying it was going to be a long generation, they probably had a lot different plans during that 8-year span than they ended up doing. I don't think they planned, Drip, to just have the Switch model a V2 model, which, come on, it was hardly an upgrade. It was better battery life, but it was nothing significant.
Oh, that was, well, that was the play. I know
the Switch Lite was planned, but after that, the OLED and then nothing after that, that was not the plan.
No, the OLED was supposed to be the Pro. Chip shortages just made that not possible. And I'm sure manufacturing lines were set up and they were like, we're not going to eat this. We're going to make something.
I acknowledge this could be a 7-year console generation, not 8. It's not going to be 8. And it's not going to be exclusively the only system. And I'm not counting a Pro as the only system. This Pro still counts as the same system as the Switch 2.
Yeah, they will count it as the Switch 2
Switch
family.
3 would be the next generation. I think we could see Switch 3 in like 7 years. So like,
fair. Okay.
So like 2032.
Damn, I'm gonna be old as fuck.
Yeah, we all will. I'll be 37.
God, you won't even be 40 by then, you baby. No. You're a little baby. It's past your bedtime. What are you doing?
I took a nap before this, and I'm bringing my Baba juice right here. Going night. Yingling. But yeah, so we can argue about little baby things. I think we're ultimately on the same page, though. Is that it's going to be a longer generation, and I just think it's going to be different than this generation, or at least it could be, because it's like you said before, this is a different management than the original Switch launch.
I think they're going to take what happened with the Switch, and they're just going to say, okay, this worked, this didn't. Let's tweak this. Let's do. It seems to be what they're doing already. Mm-hmm. They're just saying, okay, let's do what works. We did this. That part of it didn't work. Let's tweak that, and then we'll do this. And we'll keep doing these things that work until they don't, and we'll figure out a new way to. They're adapting. They're doing what they should have been doing this entire time. They're adapting. They're doing, what companies do when companies are successful. They adapt. They follow the market. That's what they're doing. Yeah. And Nintendo's never done that. That's been a problem with Nintendo in this entire thing. Because again, we can go back to the gimmicks. We can go back to the stuff. And as fun as it is, and as we put our nostalgia glasses on and look back and like, oh, the Wii was so like, no, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. It was running games at fucking 4 frames a second with graphics that looked like it was being played on a potato
480p.
When the Xbox 360 was out. Yep. Like, let's not kid ourselves about what this was. Nintendo is now finally following what they should be doing. And I mean, I don't know. I'm going to say it again. I'm telling you, this is it, man. This is the generation, I think, where Nintendo pulls away. I think they already kind of have. They've been on their own ship for a long time, but now they are. It's not a ship anymore. It's a yacht. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They're cruising in style at this point, and I think it's just going to be more of the same. I really think they know what they're doing. I don't know what this thing's going to cost. I don't know if our old games are going to be upscaled. I don't know when it's coming out, and I don't know what the launch games are going to be. But no matter what any of that is, I think they have a plan, and I think we're all going to be happy with it regardless.
Drip, do you mind doing a short after show so we can get over a lot of review some of these comments we got in the chat here?
Yeah, there's been a ton
of comments, and we don't have enough time to get to it on the show. If you're in the stream, don't go anywhere. Stream people, don't go anywhere. We're gonna talk to you in the after show. We're gonna read your comments that you gave us throughout the show, because a lot of good ones, a lot of long ones. We'll get to all those. But if you're watching this podcast after the live stream on audio platforms or on YouTube, thank you for listening. We appreciate you guys. We'll be back with you guys next week. See you later. I messed up the outro. I usually do.
Bye.
I have a very fluid thing normally. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next one.
Later.
Sure. Bye. Yikes. That was a bad outro, guys. I got the podcast music going. Let's listen to this for a little bit. Stream, don't go anywhere. Stream. We're going to dance like Dude's a Monster. Welcome to the after show, everybody. We're here. Welcome. If Drip had sounds, he'd be pressing the buttons, but he doesn't. Yes, I think I have that sound. I can play that one on my end here. Yes. And it's the we haven't done an after show in a while, Drip. Welcome to the after show.
I got time for a short one. It's 9:33. I got time for a short one.
So let's. I've scrolled back a little while here. So
read them out. We'll answer them.
I'm just gonna start from right here. I'm picking a place to start here. It will be less than $500. It will be $499.99. Jeff. Oh no, Jeff.
I really just don't see them doing. I do not see them doing $500.
I agree. Families for kids probably won't pay more than $400, and that's even pushing it. I agree, Matthew.
I 100% agree with that.
And this has laughing at all this for everything.
400 is already pushing it. That number. I mean, $3.99. If you do $3.99, at least you have that 3 in the beginning there. Yeah. So it's like, that's like a mental thing. But yeah, 400 is still pushing it. It's still pushing it.
Nintendo is laughing at all for overthinking this. Agreed. Power Matt, what is Drip dreaming about? I want to know what you think he was dreaming about. Joey Pitts, my prediction: Nintendo Switch 2 will be $349 as is, but bundled with Mario Kart 9 will be $400. I mean, I don't know about that, Joey. I don't know about that. It might be bundled.
Love to see them do $350. I don't know if that's gonna happen, but
I still think it might be $400 bundled with Mario Kart. I actually might agree with you on that.
You think they're just gonna give it away?
I told you, Drip. This could be the first Mario Kart game, first Nintendo game that is live service.
The live service. You're banking on that live service.
I'm not betting on it. I'm just saying it's a possibility that no one's talking about, and I think it's more likely than you think.
I don't think it's crazy. It's just something that Nintendo hasn't done.
Well, Deluxe Booster Pass was basically a live service game. Every few months, you were getting a drop of games for $25
I know, but they already
total.
have it. They have it on mobile. Like, they've done this stuff in mobile. I don't know. I don't hate the idea. I'm not
saying it's gonna be Fortnite in Mario Kart. I'm not saying that. I'm not gonna say every little thing is a microtransaction and you gotta pay a little.
No,
that's not what I'm saying.
Instead of being like an iteration of a new game, they introduce new modes. They introduce new tracks. They introduce new characters. They introduce new things like new skins. And maybe they don't even sell the skins. Maybe they just you can get them with in-game currency. It's not like you have to buy whatever Mario Kart tokens or whatever the fuck they call them.
I'm gonna keep it simple. We're gonna keep it simple, Drew. This is my theory. If it goes through, to be a live service game, I think it's gonna be just how they did it, like the booster pass. It'll be $25. First of all, you gotta be an online member. You gotta pay for that. So that's already money they're making right there, and it was raised. So yeah, they're making money off the bat. 2, if you want the skins, the extra characters, races, skins, if you will, $25 gets you 4 months of drops. $25 gets you another 4 months of drops, and you just keep going with that. And that's not. It could be longer, could be shorter, could be less money, could be more money.
But the Fortnite model's better.
It is better, but Nintendo is not.
Well, I'm just saying the store
to make money. It's better to make money.
Outfits, this and that.
It's better to make money, but it's not better.
Like what I do with Fortnite is I have the crew pass. So there's 4.
You spend so much money on that.
There's 4 battle passes now. There's a Lego pass. There's
so complicated. I hate the Fortnite
There's
system.
a Lego pass. There's a music pass.
Oh my
there's
God.
an OG pass, and then there's the regular battle pass.
You're reminding me of how much that system sucks.
If you have the crew pass, which is $12 a month, you get all those passes, plus 1,000 V-Bucks every month, plus a new skin every month. And all those skins that you get every month, they have about 5 or 6 different versions of them that every month they give you a new version. So when you get your drop of stuff, it's 10 skins and it's so much stuff now.
Yeah.
It's if you play Fortnite regularly, it is so worth the $12 now. It's crazy they haven't raised the price. They will. They have to do it eventually. It's so much stuff. But
Nintendo's not doing that.
I don't think they're going to do it
in their own way.
They will. If they even do. I don't hate the idea. I would play that, especially if they're updating it all the time. That's another thing that Fortnite does that I like. They put in new modes. They add new things, new ways to play.
It's named to be Smash Mario Kart Ultimate, by the way. It's not 9. It's Mario Kart Ultimate, and it's going to be
just Mario Kart Ultimate. Or maybe it's just Mario Kart Live, and they're just moving it from mobile to here, and it's just the new version. I don't know. It doesn't matter what it's called. Either way, if they do that, I think they could pull it off and do it right. I do also think they would piss so many people off doing that. Just even if they did it right and made it something that was okay, this is cool. You buy the game and then they do all these updates, this and that. And if you want the extra content later, it's just basically DLC.
Yeah.
You know?
All right, let's keep going here.
Game.
Let's keep going. PowerMad, $450 or $500 for Mario Kart Edition with Mario Kart. Same Milan. Same as Joey, just more money. It's just more money. It's too much. Yeah, it's too much, PowerMad. Because for you, that's less money because you're in the UK. So for you, that's $400.
Man, but I'm telling you right now, you try to sell a Switch, a Nintendo product like that for $500 when you can go buy a PlayStation.
In America,
PlayStation 5 for that, or you can buy an Xbox Series X for that.
Unless it comes with a controller.
Get a Steam Deck.
Unless it comes with a controller.
You can get a Steam Deck. An OLED Steam Deck for $100 less?
That doesn't come with a dock. This one will come with a dock. It'll come with a controller. It'll come with this, that, the other. I think there's a world where we could see a $500 SKU that comes with a lot of goodies, and it's a special edition color or something like that.
Yeah, it better come with a Pro controller. Yeah,
right. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. A grip for the Joy-Cons, a Pro controller.
Even then, you're pushing it.
Listen, there's a world. Let's move on. Maybe
there is. Really quickly, let me just go. The only bad thing about that is you're looking at that as like, okay, it's got more shit, but it's like $500 gets you this. If you like Nintendo games, awesome. But if you're, I like 4K, like Xbox, sorry, PlayStation, sorry, like no, it just you can't. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Maybe they're using Alarmo profits to float Switch too.
Oh yeah, so we can drop it down to $350. Dude, yeah. Alarmo, I'm sure it's selling like hotcakes. I've got 3 in my house. I don't know how many you have.
Yeah, Joey Pitts is complaining to PowerMad about his budget. Same, Joey. Okay, we're gonna keep moving on to the next actual question. Okay, this is a crazy thought, but maybe, but they increased the price for games from $79.99 to $90 for the new titles because they know people will buy the new titles. Well, yeah. Matthew, I'm not sure what currency you're referring to. $79.99 sounds like Canadian. I'm not sure if you're Canadian.
So basically, let's just say.
So
$60 to $80.
Right. I think that's the U.S. currency.
Ooh, God. God.
Listen, Drip, Monster Hunter, you bought Monster Hunter, it was $70, but the other versions were $90 and $120.
Yeah, but there's lots of games that do that.
Right.
There's a ton of games. So
it's not crazy for Nintendo to
No, it's not crazy
to charge that much.
For the extra stuff. But there's an option to still buy the $70 version. You don't have to buy the $90 or $80. Like, you don't have to do. I don't know, man. I think that's going. Oof. I think you're really getting into some place. That's getting into a place you don't want.
It's a valid idea because as PowerMad says here, I'm thinking of tariffs and inflation, which is what PowerMad is saying for us Americans here. Yeah, I mean, if tariffs could make the thing cost $100, it's definitely not an impossibility. And as far as what Matthew is saying, Matthew's game idea could be right because the tariffs as well, not because the games are going to cost necessarily that much to import, but it's going to be because the Switch prices, they're going to have to make up the money on the Switch, whether that's through the tariffs or they lower the price intentionally or both tariffs, and they want to lower the price of Switch too. Both those reasons could be why the games cost more. It's to supplement the cost that they're losing out and make some more money. So I would actually be okay with that. I personally,
there's probably ways they would get around that.
Personally, I think it's not crazy to charge us instead of $60 or $69, which is what it currently costs for modern games, charge us $79, $80. I think $80 is not crazy because again, inflation from back in the day, games were a lot more expensive than they are today. So to make the base price of games $80 on Nintendo systems, not crazy, and the industry will follow suit. It already kind of is. Okay, yeah, okay.
I don't think the tariffs are. Everybody keeps talking about that. I don't think they're going to be a problem because Nintendo is manufacturing in countries that I don't think are going to be affected by.
Tariffs. I agree.
Like they've already taken steps to make sure their manufacturing is coming from places that are not China. Like Vietnam's like one of the places. I don't know where else they're doing their stuff, but I know that they're not just manufactured in one place. So I don't know. Power Mad says he has a question for me, but he hasn't put it in the chat yet.
Yeah, I'm looking for new things. There's some other good stuff here. Imagine Joy-Cons Pro. That could be a thing we see. We could see Joy-Cons Pro in a $500 SKU.
We are long overdue for a Pro model Joy-Con. Like, the fact that everyone else had to do it for them, like, they should hang their head a little low on that one. Like, everyone else did it better. Everyone. Mobipad. I mean, Nixie.
Power Matt has a question for you. The question that he said before. Would you pay $500 for a Zelda Switch 2 if it had Ocarina of Time remake exclusive only when you bought that console?
Yes.
Yeah, he, well, of course he would. He'd sell his house for it.
Yes, I would. No, I would just sell my old Switch 2.
That's what I did.
That one.
That's what I did, man.
Yeah.
That's a good method if you don't need
Yes, I would definitely, yes. I would find a way to, if you could only get the game that way, I'd be super pissed about it. I'd make like 50 videos about how mad I was and then buy it.
Yeah. Yep.
That's exactly what I do.
Have you all heard about the GameCube controller rumors coming out, which means NSO adding GameCube to expansion pass? Do you think that
there's
they get
actually
into NSO
a lot
plans
of
April
validity to
2nd
that.
direct?
Did you see any of that?
Yes. I did.
The warning label or whatever on the back, like that line, that's pretty hard to deny at this point. That's been a thing for a while. They've already looked at these people now. It's crazy. You know, we used to have leakers who just like try to find this, that. Like, people are looking at shipping manifests now and breaking down the parts that are being shipped to certain places. And they basically already found this out a while back, that they are shipping all the parts to these places to assemble GameCube controllers. Yeah, I mean, we know we're getting GameCube next, but like Jeeb says, that's going to come with a price increase. I don't think it's going to be another tier. I think it'll just be added onto the expansion pack, but it'll be a price increase. But we've seen them do every controller for a home console that they put on there. I mean, I don't know why it would change with GameCube.
I think the NSO, I think it's going to get a across the board price increase, significant one.
So too.
Expansion pack is going to become.
You saying significant makes me. I don't think it's going to be. I don't know. I think they'll gradually get there. I don't think it's going to be like.
What in the crap is this? We're in the after show now. You can come in if you want.
What is that?
I asked Mrs. G to get me a McFlurry on her way home because she was getting McDonald's.
Look at this. Look at this. Look what I got. Look at this.
Got a Blizzard. Look at you.
I got a Blizzard.
What in the? So they got rid of the old spoons and now they're doing paper?
Yeah, I don't.
This is nuts. Yeah.
Wow.
Not too far though. Yeah. This is insane.
Wow.
Let's look at this McFlurry. I'm actually, because I'm a amateur environmentalist. I'm actually down with this. Like listen.
An amateur. I'll tell you what I'm not down with. I'll tell you what. I don't want to get political.
There's no lid on this, which is my big issue.
There's one good thing. Undeniably, I cannot disagree with Trump on. I think one of his first things he got rid of was paper straws. And I gotta say, I don't think there's anything worse than a paper straw. Like, I'm all about saving the environment, and I'm with it, man. But, dude, paper straws are fucking awful. They're bad.
Paper?
My movie theater changed to paper straws. Try sitting in a 3-hour movie with a paper straw. See how that goes for you.
I'm not against paper straws. I'm actually one of the few who don't mind them. But I know that they're a problem, and I acknowledge that. And let's be honest here. That's not the solution. What's the solution? If you look at recycle, reduce, reuse, recycle, that's the method you're supposed to go in. It's not just an order you say it. There's a reason there's an order. Reduce is the first thing. The most important thing is to reduce. So you don't have to buy a drink with a paper straw in it, and then don't get that. Reuse would be a reusable straw. So like, how about McDonald's start to we can give our cups to McDonald's and refill them. And like that's a culture problem in our country, is that we go to McDonald's, we expect a big bag that's gonna be thrown away, all the utensils, it's all thrown away. That's not gonna fix the problem. Even though it's paper's better.
All right,
paper's better than plastic.
Listen, this is not an environmental.
We need to
stream.
reuse things. We need to give McDonald's. Here is my own bag. Like when you go shopping, get your a tote bag. Here's my own cup.
All
this stuff
says, I've never been mugged. I bet that's worse than paper straws. I don't know if I agree. Paper straws are pretty much the worst. I would rather be mugged than use a paper straw in a movie theater to watch Avengers Endgame. That's for sure. Drip, would you rather stub your toe every other day of your life on some table or use paper straws for the rest? I would stub my toe easily every day if I didn't have to use a paper straw. Okay, that's paper straws every day. Like I can't drink another drink unless it's with a paper. No, stub my toe. I'll wait. I will let you stub my toe before I get out of bed. I will lay in bed with the pain and then get up. As long as I don't have to use a paper straw.
You're insane.
Dude, they're bad. God. And I think it may be like a sensory, like ADHD. I don't know what. I can't, dude. Once it starts going, I'm just like, fuck you. You're gone. Lid's gone. We're done. Like, we're done. We're not even trying. And then I'm mad.
The ones I've had haven't been that bad. That's all I'm saying. And if it saves the baby turtles, I'm down for it.
Listen, I mean, look, I love turtles just as much as the next guy, but come on, like turtle.
I like turtles.
Does that look like fucking food to you? Does that look like food to you? Come on.
No. The issue is like the animals will get stuck in these things. They get hurt. They get cut. They get stuck and they die because of that.
Okay, well, keep the goddamn straws out. Like, what are you doing? Are you doing drugs with these straws, little turtles? Like, what are you doing?
They also turn into microplastics in our oceans,
straighten your life up.
Microplastics are killing us, by the way. Like, all the list of things that are killing us, let's add microplastics to that.
God.
Yeah, plastic's
Thank
bad.
God I can drink Busch Light without a straw.
Point is, paper
Amen to that.
Paper better, plastic worse. So I'm down with the paper. Just give me a lid, McDonald's. Can I get a lid? This is not a Chinese takeout. This is ice cream. Can I get a lid?
Oh my God, Joey Bits with the fucking win. Life tip: Twizzlers operate as straws.
And that's
movie hack ever.
And that has been an idea floated around. Give us consumable straws, or better yet, like not like there's
flavored,
like plastic alternatives that just they degrade in a couple days. Like they're like plastics made of like plants.
Okay, now I have had those, and those aren't bad.
Yeah,
because at least they last.
Paper
for
is
like,
not
the
necessarily the way to go.
Drink.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Like a paper straw does not last for the time you have the drink.
Right.
It's not the right way to go at that point.
Yeah,
we have failed at that point.
Yeah, but the problem with, well, I'm not gonna. We're not doing that. Not doing that.
Oh God, please, yes, don't.
Almost did it.
Well, remember cereal straws?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Oh yeah, cereal straws. Hell yeah. Do you remember cereal straws?
I don't.
I remember that. They were great. They were like basically the outside of the straw was made of a cereal material, like the same cereal you were drinking, and the inside of the straw had like a milk powder, like a milky vanilla flavor that like as you drink the milk, it flavors the milk. Yeah. And then after you could eat the fucking straw. I remember the sound it made when I crunched it. It was so good. God, I love those things. Those were delicious.
Who made these things?
Mills, the companies who make
General
cereal.
Mills?
The companies who make cereal. I don't know.
General Mills.
I wasn't buying them and evaluating the packaging. I was just eating them.
Dude, shut the fuck up. No way. This is a lie.
It's not a lie,
man.
You're
fucking with me, right? You're fucking with me.
How you spell cereal? Shit. Cereal straws. Fruit Loop straws.
Holy shit. They're real. You can buy them right now. At Five Below.
Yeah, these things right here.
Go get them.
Right here, baby.
Holy shit.
The green tasted like lime, which never made sense, but I loved it. The lemon tasted like lemon again. Not looking for citrus when I'm eating cereal, but it was not bad.
Dude, they have
cocoa.
They have Twinkies.
I can't believe they still make these things. Is what I'm crazy. Yeah, Twinkies. Here we go.
Fruit Loops, Twinkies.
Holy shit.
Cocoa Krispies.
If you guys are not subscribed after this conversation, what would it take to make you subscribe?
Holy shit.
Quality content right here.
That's insane. I swear to God, I literally had no idea.
Well, you're an old man. You know, you're an old man. I looked at our analytics.
Is that what it is that I just missed?
So Drip, our analytics recently, I looked at them. I don't think they shifted, but like our analytics are mainly people of the ages of 25 to 35, which is my people. So like people who watch us, they're my people. Me. So we know. We're in the know. We know the
Everyone's here
straws.
for the environmental podcast now. That's great. All right. On that note, I think it's time to end this.
Yes. Cereal straws are better than any straw you ever had, and they don't
Dude,
suck.
I already have
soggy,
them in
though.
my cart right now. Just saying, I'm buying lots of these. I have no idea.
We might need to buy some just for the joke of it.
We are, and we're gonna do a Drip and Jeep stream.
I didn't know they
and we're
made
gonna
these
stream
stuff.
a game and eat.
We got the Twinkies. Can I get the Twinkies
straws.
ones? God, I've never had
I'm
those.
getting all of
It's
them.
crazy.
I'm getting all of them.
Fruit Loops are
Every
great,
one of them.
and although the lime is weird. The lime in the milk is very weird, but it works.
I'm getting all of them. It's gonna be great. Can't wait.
We're gonna end this podcast now, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. This has been a fun one. This is the after show, and now it's gonna be the after show because we're going away. Have a good night.
And I don't have a redirect, but bye.
That's okay. I'm gonna
Thanks for hanging.
stop the music. Boom. Gonna press this button right here, and we're going away now.
Next podcast
Love
with
you
cereal
guys.
straws. Yes, it's happening. See you next week with
Goodbyes.
cereal straws.